So, what do you guys think of this place we're staying for my niece Alyssa's wedding, which is at this impossibly beautiful venue called the 20 Mile House? It was an old railroad sort of stop house that was built, according to the plaque on the wall, 1846. This railroad, I guess, goes from Reno to Sacramento, basically, cuts across the northern part of the state. But they built the the stop house in 1846. It was renovated in 1946, and now somebody owns it as a wedding venue. And it, I would imagine, does very well. I mean, because it's so idyllic. It's down a hill in this valley of these massive, how tall are these pine trees we're looking at right here?
No.
Above us.
Hundreds.
100-foot pine. Are these pines? Are these cedars? What are these?
They're pine trees.
Okay, there's a variety of incredible trees here in Northern California. And there's a babbling brook that goes by the house as well.
We're going tubing.
You're going to.
Yeah.
I'm going napping. Ain't no tubing with me. But yeah, so we're at this little motel called the Sierra Sky Lodge. And it's just a strip of motel rooms, but they're made out of this really nice cedar kind of log cabin style thing. And the inside is very homey and nice, even though it's obviously old. This is really cool. And we're sitting here in the backyard where there's a fire pit and there's a pool and the kids are in the pool. The highway's right there. I mean, look at this place. I mean, when are you ever going to be at a place like this again?
Hopefully soon. I think
And
it's
the
pretty
owner's
rad.
here. Hello. Would you like to come say hi to us?
Oh, yes. Hi.
I love it. Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna share. Yeah. Oh yeah. There you go. Yeah, and have a seat.
Oh,
Come have a seat. I'm doing a little impromptu podcast here.
Oh, well, how exciting. Wow, I don't think I'm quite ready. Just hold it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
giving you publicity. Go sit down.
Oh,
Sit down,
okay.
since I am filming it over here.
Bookings are going to be coming in hot and heavy.
Woohoo! I'll take that.
All right. I forgot. Is it your
Wendy.
name? Beck. I'm sorry. Wendy. Wendy. How you're from around here, aren't you?
No?
Oh no. Where are you from?
You want our story?
Yes, I want your story.
Quick,
real
I'll try to do it really
Yes.
condensed.
Okay.
So, in 1998, my mother-in-law and my father-in-law started RVing up in Graeagle. They tried to get us to come up. We're all from Southern California.
Okay, so you're from Southern California. Whereabouts?
We were in Aliso Viejo. My husband's from Newport Beach.
Okay.
I was really Oregon, then Vegas,
Okay.
then California. But
All
yeah.
right. So.
So then 5 years later, 2003, we decided to come up and visit them when they were RVing.
Right.
So we came up, and on the last day, my mother-in-law handed me a real estate flyer. My husband was out fishing, and she said, "Look, I found your new home." So he came back from fishing. I packed up the kids in the car. I showed it to him. I said, "Do you want to go look?" He goes, "Yeah, let's go look." So we went up and turned left instead of right, drove in, met the owner, left, went to the real estate office, made an offer, went home, sold our house, came back 90 days later.
What year was this?
2003.
2003, and it's in Graeagle. Is that how you pronounce it?
Graeagle, yeah.
Graeagle, even though it's spelled G-R-A.
Yeah.
Eagle. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's awesome. And the house, not exactly massive.
Oh, our house, our 1,000 square feet?
Yes.
That's,
So you got a 1,000 square foot house
yes.
in Graeagle. And
No,
you're-
here. We lived here.
Oh, you lived here. Okay.
This is the property we
Oh,
bought.
okay. So this is the one you bought.
This is the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you bought a place down.
We have a house in Graeagle.
Oh, okay.
Like a year and a half later, we had a property in Southern California
Okay.
that we decided to sell.
So you bought the house here attached to the
We
motel.
bought this whole property. Yeah.
the whole
So the
property.
motels were already
Oh,
and everything.
this was built in 1948.
Okay.
Yeah, so we bought the whole business, little house, like
that's
everything was all one. Yep.
So, do you have anyone here in the winter? I'm curious.
We decided finally, after many years of struggling, to close. So we only open Memorial Day to Halloween.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then for the winter, I mean, it must snow like the bejesus up here.
Well, it used to.
It used to, yeah.
But
Not so
yeah,
much anymore.
not so much
Couple
anymore.
of dry seasons, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but the summer is lovely, and right now we've got a little warm spell, a little warmer than normal.
A little warmer than normal,
But
yes.
this is not unusually nice weather. It is nice here in the summer.
It is nice.
I mean, this is
It's like this every day for 90 days,
Yeah.
120
this
days.
is
Yeah.
pretty damn glorious right here.
Yeah, this is nice. And then it cools off. I think the heat spell comes when it doesn't cool off at night as much.
Okay.
But usually we get like a 40-degree swing,
Okay.
right? So you're going to be 80s in the day, and then you'll dip down into the 40s, which is why we encourage people to turn off their ACs at night
Right, I know.
and open their windows.
I would have been all about that last night. So, so your kids are all grown now? Are they out?
I have well, they're all getting ready to kind of turn this age, but 26, 24, 22, 20, and a 13-year-old son who I have a game to get to in 30 minutes.
Okay. Well, if you just leave when you need to leave.
Oh, I'm good.
So, so they grew up on this property with the motel on it.
They did, yeah. So we moved here with 3 girls, 4, 2, and 6 months.
Okay.
And then we had Molly 2 years later, and then we had a 6-year gap, and we had our son William, who was actually born in the little house.
Did they work the resort? Did you put them to jobs? Like,
Absolutely.
Hey,
We
and
had
did they
2,
resent it, or were they like into it?
They, I think they have very sweet stories to say now.
But at the
and-
time,
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, Mom and the whiteboard, because I would always have a whiteboard up, and it would have all their jobs.
oh wow.
And so, yeah, so they would, and they tease about how I would make them go pick up trash, and they would get a nickel
For every piece of trash.
And then we used to sell ice cream. We had an ice cream freezer and a distributor that would come and fill it up and stuff. And so they could then turn in their trash. Maybe they got 20 pieces, so they got $1.
love it,
So then
yeah.
they could buy a push-up.
That's
And then
good.
they tell stories about stealing the ice cream. Actually, what's really funny is that most people were like, how do your kids not, steal the ice cream? And for the most part, we only had one who had some sticky fingers.
Little sticky
And
fingers.
she would do that, but they actually have a video. She got her little brother, so Will was about 2.5 or something, and they have a video of him in the shower eating an ice cream.
Oh,
and they're
wow.
like videoing. He's
Good stuff.
like, no!
When
Yeah.
the kids or when the girls got older, did they ever stay in the cabins on their own, or?
So when they were through junior high school, they would get to have sleepovers. So they would have friends over, and they would get to, stay in cabin 1 or go down to, so we would let them, stay in a room and stuff. And even my husband and I would have date night. And we would leave
Date
the
night
kids.
in cabin 5.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much.
You're in the house. Mom and Dad are in cabin 5.
Yeah, and then we would
Don't knock.
literally have my mom would come and babysit and watch them. They weren't by themselves, but we would just be slip out and go have dinner and then come back and try to just, or I've I've gone to sleep in cabins where I need to sleep, and I'm just I'm going to slip in here and go to sleep for a while because I wasn't able to sleep or
Right.
working too hard or something. But they actually had Barbie Jeeps. They would drive around, and
Oh,
we would
yeah.
attach a trailer to them.
Oh, Barbie Jeeps around here would be
Is that-
incredible for kids.
Yeah, and so
would love
they
this.
logged all the laundry and
Oh, nice.
swept the porches. And then I had a friend who would work in the summers with me, and she had 4 granddaughters, and then I have my 4 girls, and so they were all 2 years apart.
Yeah.
So it was really fun.
What a
It was
unique
fun
childhood.
time.
That is awesome.
It was unique.
Very-
I think they really like it.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Much
Yeah.
better than a standard, North American suburban kind of upbringing, just school soccer practice. They're here.
Yeah.
And now I realize it's called the Sierra Sky Resort.
Lodge.
Like Sierra Sky Lodge. Sierra Sky Lodge. And your website is,
SierraSkyLodge.com.
okay, open from,
Memorial Day weekend to Halloween.
okay. I realized that I called it a motel twice in front of you, and I saw it, is that an insult? Because it probably is. Motel has a lower connotation.
It kind of does. I think because we serve breakfast, I do like to I coined the phrase family style bed and breakfast because my husband said, oh, let's do bed and breakfast. And I said, yeah, that's crazy. Because, well, one, we had 4 young children running around.
how am I going to serve breakfast to all of our guests?
Well, and you think of a bed and breakfast, right? We went to a bed and breakfast when we got engaged. You go there when it's filled with antiques.
You don't want to see kids.
No.
Right.
Or the road. Or, it's a different thing. And so then we finally got to the breakfast evolved. I finally got it going. And I just thought of, I did have some wonderful, acquaintances or colleagues that said, you know what, you need to embrace what you are. You have kids, and that's
Right.
fun. And the people that don't like it,
Yeah.
they can go someplace else.
Yeah, exactly.
So embrace that you have kids, embrace what you do. And once I was able to do that, it was so much more enjoyable and fun.
Yeah, I've stayed in plenty of motels when I was younger, especially driving back and forth across the country because I went to school at UC Santa Barbara.
Oh,
so I've got
okay.
a Southern California touch to myself, having
Yes.
been there. And, going back and forth to DC, and I stayed in motels. I had to tell my own daughters because they said, well, what's the difference between a motel and a hotel?
Right.
I said, a motel is when you open your door and you're out facing your car.
Very true.
That's a motel. Hotels have lobbies.
Yes.
They have another door that you have to get in before you get to your room.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
But so this is great because the accommodations, they've got a beautiful little front porch, and you're right there next to a little gravel, parking lot, and then there's the highway. Highway, what number is that highway?
70.
Highway 70 is right there. It's not full of cars. It comes occasionally. But I also
Yeah.
think that's part of the charm. It's like, we're here. We're right off the highway. It's beautiful in the backyard. We had a fire last night. Had drinks. I'm catching up with my cousins.
Great
That's
great
so
little
fun.
Mexican restaurant, walking distance.
I couldn't believe there's a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, it was
right
really
And they
good.
do such a good job.
They do
And
a really
it's
good
literally
job.
Martha cooking. And if you
love it.
like spicy food, just ask her. She'll do it
Well,
up for you.
thanks for having us.
you're
Continued
welcome.
success. And I urge anyone that wants a genuine Northern California Sierra summer getaway, come on up here. It's out here. I mean, you're like, where am I? I'm out here. I'm out here north of Lake Tahoe, sort of west,
That's right.
but it's spectacular.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
All right,
you,
that'll
thank
do
you.
it. Tommy, anything to add? You want to open a restaurant here? Make it your 8th restaurant? It'll be an easy drive for you up from
What?
Reno. He's got 7 restaurants, by the
Do
way.
not.
Not
Yes,
in
he does.
California.
Not in California?
Too
I don't
hard.
do business in
You
the
don't
state.
Too
I know
challenging?
people say that. Dang.
Oh, I know.